Hello, my name is Mooncat and welcome to my video on the 2022 soccer event. Now, usually I would start a video like this with welcome to my guide to the 2022 soccer event. In this video I will talk about all you need to know about the event and stuff like that. But to be honest, as you can probably saw in the title, this is not a proper guide and I probably will not have a guide for this event. And instead of that, I will have this video where I share a few very helpful resources, including a very nice video on some strategies you can use to win more fights or more matches in the tournament. So I'll get back to that in a moment. Now, the reason why I haven't made a guide, well, as I talked about in my last video, I think it's 2 weeks ago now, I was quite ill for a week. Probably just a regular flu or cold or something like that. I did test myself a couple of times, so don't think it was anything serious. I am better now, but I am still, well, to be honest, I don't really have a lot of energy to do much when I get back from work. I've just been relaxing on my couch, not doing too much. I simply haven't had the energy to make or work much on guides and stuff like that. So I'm afraid I have to disappoint you because I will not have a guide for this event. I definitely will come back to the next event with the wildlife, but for this event, yeah, I will not have too much, and it is what it is. I wanted to make something, but I simply haven't had the energy to do it, and yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. No need to dwell on that. I'll be back quite soon, don't worry. So, the first resource I want to share is simply my first impressions video. You can definitely ignore the first part where I talk about the building because those have been changed. I'll talk about that in a moment. But if you want to look at the mechanics, the base mechanics of the event and all of that, you can look at this video and you will see how that works. And yeah, you can see how the new minigame works because it has been changed a little bit. So just to give a quick rundown of how it works now. Last year you had a percentage chance of winning. This year it is deterministic. You will always know if you win or lose. So in this case I win. So how do you win? You have all of these 6 duels here. So each of these players here are duels against, or for all of these player cards you have, they duel against one of the opponent cards. So here you have a duel, here you have one, and so on. And for each duel you win, you get 1 point. And to win a duel, you simply have to have more points than the opponent. If you have the same amount of points, that is a tie, and neither side gets a point. If you win both your duels in one color, I think we'll see an example of that a little bit later on. If you win both of the duels within one color, you get 1 additional point on top of the 2 points you get for winning these duels already. And then the player with the most points from all of these duels will win. And you don't really have to care too much because you will see if you win or not. So there's no chance involved. You either win or you don't. There is some strategy to it, and I will talk about that later with this video here, that you definitely should check out, and I'll go over it a little bit. But yeah, that's something we'll talk about a little bit later. Now, in terms of the building, previously or before the change, which came around halfway through the event, this building gave a supply boost, but that was changed for a defense boost for your attacking army. So the building now gives up to 25 attack for your attacking army, a defense for your attacking army from 20 tiles. This is 4 by 5 big. In addition to that, you also get some forge points and goods. So that's quite nice. You can also look at the at the wiki page to get some information about the building. Here you also have the same table in a different format. Here you can see the 4 different chain buildings for this building. Because yeah, this is another chain building. The 4 chains here, they chain on the bottom side of the building. So you chain it down here like that. Similar to the Terracotta Vineyard and the, what's it called, Pirate's Hideout, I think it is, the summer one. So there are 4 ones. You have the flower path, which gives 5 goods. That's quite meh, not really that great. The wheat path gives 2 forge points, which is alright. It's not amazing, it's not too bad. If you have a blue galaxy, I don't know, it's quite nice. But definitely the 2 best ones are the olive tree path and rocky path. If you want defense, the rocky path gives 5% defense boost for attacking army. It is 4 tiles big, so 4 by 1, so that is over 1 defense per tile. It's definitely not as good as the Sentinel, but you do get more per daily special. Then we have the olive tree path. This gives 4 attack from 4 tiles, so 1 attack per tile, and this is actually quite good. It's definitely not as good as many other buildings, but compared to other chain buildings, this is the best one for attack, specifically for your attacking army. So yeah, quite nice, and definitely an option to decide to choose for. Now the way you get those, you get them from daily specials. Now one thing that's quite unusual about this event is that you have 2 sets of daily specials. If you go back here for a moment, you can see, if I go to the right moment, that you have 2 sections of the event. And check this video out if you don't know about this and want to learn more. But you do have 2 sections, each with its separate daily special. So yeah, here another resource from the beta. Here you see all the daily specials that appeared on the beta server for the different sections. So yeah, definitely check that out. Or after a couple of days, the main wiki page will also be updated. You will find these will be filled out, especially the switch ones, where you can see which ones have appeared as a switch. So yeah, check that out a couple of days into the event. But don't think there will be any changes, so my quick recommendation is either go for the Sentinel Outpost and Sentinel Outpost upgrade kit. Those are always great. If you want a little bit compromise between attack or defense for your attacking army and forge points and stuff like that, you can go for the Hippodrome. For the Hippodrome Carceres, that's quite nice. You can also go for the chain buildings. I don't remember what it's called. Rossioi track, I think it is, which gives defense. That's quite nice. So that's an option. Another option, of course, is the Windmill Farmlands selection kit. That's where you get all of the chain buildings for the new building. And then you have the Winners Plaza. So if you are in a higher age group, I would definitely go for the Winners Plaza. If you want attack, it's definitely the best. But if you are in a lower age group, then I might actually go for the Windmill Farmlands instead to get this olive tree path. Because in lower ages, it is better than the Winners Plaza. So yeah, that's a place where you can go for this instead. That's something you have to decide for yourself. So yeah, that's the main daily specials. You do have some old ones as well, but yeah, I would choose between those 3 or 4 options. All right. Now, as I mentioned, you do have the wiki page, always a great resource. You should know that by now, but yeah, this is one of the resources I use all the time. Here you have another rundown of the mechanics if you want to learn more about that. But the main thing, of course, is the quests, and you can do your planning here, figure out what you need to plan for. And in this event in particular, you do actually perhaps want to wait with doing the quest and save them for a day with a tournament daily special that you want. Because as you can see, for every other quest, you get 1 tournament ticket. You can have max 3 or 4 tickets at the same time, or you can have more, but you don't generate a free ticket if you have more than 3, I believe it is. So what you want to do is that during the event, you want to always, you want to use your tickets, so you always accumulate free ones. But when the day comes where a daily special you want is available, then you do a lot of quests and you get a lot of tickets for that day in particular. So instead of doing quests all the time or all at the beginning, you save as many as possible for 1 day. So that definitely requires planning. So yeah, for that you do need to plan ahead. So that's definitely something that I would do, especially if you have the time for it. So yeah, here you can also get some stats on the different players and stuff like that. So yeah, of course, you know this by now. The wiki is one of the best resources out there, especially the fandom one, the fan-made one. Alright, now finally, as I talked about, let's quickly go through this video here by Nain. You definitely want to check him out. He is German, so if you don't speak German, perhaps not that interesting. Though with that said, I speak German myself, or I understand German, but I did check, and the auto-generated, auto-translated subtitles to English are very understandable. He speaks very well, very clearly, so the auto-generated subtitles are great, and the auto-translated ones are also very good. So yeah, technology there for you, very nice. So even if you don't speak German, you can definitely understand this video. So what he does in this video is that he goes through a strategy on how you can actually win fights, even if you have fewer points or lower ranked cards in general compared to the opponent. So you have these ranking points here and player strength. You don't really have to think too much about it. But in general, if the opponent has a higher strength here, you will have a higher chance of losing, or you will most likely lose. But there are some tricks you can do to actually not win all of these fights, but win a few of these fights that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to win. So in this video, he goes over how to do that. I will give a quick summary, but I do recommend checking out this video. You will find that link in the description, so definitely go and check it out and give him some love, because he makes some great videos. He's made some good videos on guild versus guild, for example, if you want to learn more about that, so definitely check him out. So, how can you, I don't know, beat the system and win against opponents that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to win? So in this example here, he loses this duel here convincingly, this one convincingly, but this one he actually wins. And the reason why he has won this is that he has purchased a few players with diamonds. Now, he doesn't buy these packs here. These packs, he actually buys one or probably more of the green player packs. And the reason for this, as he explains in the video, is that it does mean that you have a higher player rating, but because the other two colors are relatively low, your rating isn't actually that high, and you will get easier opponents in the harder fights. So that's the first aspect of it. That's why he is buying a few of the green player packs. It could be a few of the red player packs or a few of the blue player packs, but a few packs of one of the player colors. That's important. Now, if you don't want to spend any diamonds at all, the strategy he uses to win these battles is still applicable. You can still do it, you just won't be as successful. But it is something you still can do if you don't buy player cards. So what is it he does? So here, as I said, he loses this quite heavily. He wins this battle and he loses this. So overall, he loses this battle. Let's go in full screen, why not? So that's the basis. But you can change the orientation of these players here, or choose some different player cards and actually end up winning this. So what does he do? So first of all, he doesn't have to use the highest strength cards of his green ones. So the way the game works is that the game automatically picks up the player cards that are best for you. So, or the highest you have for the specific color. So in this instance, these two green ones are his highest rated ones, 23 points each. But he can still win this middle section here with the lowest rated green cards he has, so he can swap those out and use the lowest rated ones. Now, cards colors are not limited to their own section. You can still use green cards here or here, but you do get a 2-point penalty. So what he does is that in this duel here, this player here has 21 points, and because he has 23 points here, which when you subtract 2 is 21, if he swaps out this player here with one of those 23 players, he will actually draw this duel here. So he draws this duel, he still loses this, but because the opponent doesn't win both, he doesn't get the additional point here for this red jewel here. And he does the same thing on the blue side here. He swaps out the lowest here with one of the topic green ones. It's still a draw. He still loses this one, but because the player doesn't get any additional points for winning both of the blue or both of the red ones, and because he wins both of the green ones, he is actually able to win this fight. So that's the basis of the strategy. You can use player cards for different sections and yeah, still win by doing that, even if you do get some penalty on them. So you don't always have to use the highest rated cards of a color in a section. You might actually want to use that color in a different section. And that's the basis of it. He does a great job of explaining it. So definitely, again, do check out the video. Even if you don't understand German, you can use the subtitles. They are very easy to understand, very clear. So yeah, definitely do go and check that out. All right, so I think that's all I have for this video. I do want to apologize again for not having a guide. As I said, I just haven't had the energy to make one. But yeah, I will be back. I will be back for the wildlife event. Don't worry about that. It's one of my favorite events, so I definitely will have some stuff on that. Hopefully I'll be able to continue a bit more on the higher age unit series as well. And before I end, I do want to apologize to my Patreons. I am still working on the Patreon video that I was supposed to make ages ago. I still haven't made it, so or been able to complete it yet, so hopefully I'll be able to complete that tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully very soon. And I do have some plans on how to make it up to you, so hopefully that's all right. So with that said, I think I will end this video. Before I do, let me thank my Patreons for their patience, for their support, and all of that. So let me thank Homestar, For Prefect, Lorden, Rock'n Robin, Kim Cayley, Joshua Clark, Rolf the 8th, PQ the Goat, Dan Suminad, Marek B, Arthur, Hugo Count von Count, Jon Fredriksen, Judith the Generous, Filda, Rush, Susan Weiss, Megarock, Rocco, Henrik Dari Klerberg, Mattia, Opshi the Obsessed, Raph, Kim, XD, Odaril, Mike, and Kensei Tachikawa. Thank you again for your patience. Thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you in the future.